What's going on, y'all? Flames back at it again today with another video. Today, we're going to be reading Genesis chapter 18. Without further ado, let's get right to it. Alright, chapter 18. And the Lord appeared to him by the oaks of Mamre, and he sat at the door of his tent in the heat of the day. He lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, 3 men were standing in front of him. When he saw them, he ran from the tent door to meet them and tore himself to the earth and said, O Lord, if I had found favor in your sight, do not pass by your servant. Let a little water be brought, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree, while I bring a morsel of bread, that you may refresh yourselves, and after that you may pass on, since you have come to your servant. And they said, Do as you have said. And Abraham went quickly to the tent to Sarah and said, Quick, 3 seahs of fine flour, knead it, and make cakes. And Abraham ran to the Lord and took a calf, tender and good, and gave it to a young man, prepared it quickly. Then he took the curds and milk and the calf that he had prepared, and set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree while they ate. They said to him, Where is Sarah your wife? And he said, She is in the tent. The Lord said, I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah your wife shall have a son. And Sarah was listening at the tent door behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, advanced in years. The way of woman had ceased to be with Sarah. So Sarah laughed herself, saying, After I am worn out, and my Lord is old, shall I have pleasure? The Lord said to Abraham, Why did Sarah laugh and say, Shall I indeed bear a child now that I am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the appointed time I will return to you. About this time next year, and Sarah shall have a son. But Sarah denied it, saying, I did not laugh, for she was afraid. He said, No, but you did laugh. So, we're not done with the chapter yet, but I just want to say this real quick. People really, in general, I feel like people kind of dumb down God a lot. I feel like, if God really is this person, if you think the world, just appeared out of nothing, you might be slow. I'm not trying to be rude when I say that, but, genuinely, if you think that all of this came from nothing, it tells me that you don't know anything. Even if, that might be arrogant to say, but I don't really care. Think about how complicated everything is. You think that just came off of nothingness? What even is nothingness? It had to have been created by something. Well, what was created by something? Something was created by something. There had to be a creator. Now, my question is, where does God come from? I don't know if there's an answer to that question. However, the fact that, people say, okay, for instance, example in the story, Sarah's no way I can have a child, I'm too old. It's outside of, what I know to be true. Well, nothing in our reality is how it seems. If you really think about it, if you really put your mind to it, you really think about it, everything that we think is how it is. Let's say, I'm gonna move my hand like this. I can do that, right? I'm gonna pick something up. I'm gonna pick this up, right? But let's say, but the point I'm getting to is, you through God, you can do anything. Because if God created everything, how is he not able to just create a miracle too? You know what I mean? If God really is who he says is, and people say, oh, I believe in Jesus, then how do you believe in Jesus but don't believe that he could change your life like that? If he wanted to, bro, he could do anything he feels like, because he created everything. So yeah, then the man set out from there, and they looked down towards Sodom, and Abraham went with them to set on their way. Now, like I said, let's put this disclaimer real quick. Obviously, I'm not saying I'm, better than anybody else, and, there's probably been times in my life where I was supposed to, do a certain thing, for God or whatever, and I didn't, you know what I mean? So, I'm not saying I'm perfect or better than anybody else. And also, it's very easy from the outside looking in, reading this, and not being a part of it as it was happening, and just being like, "Yo, like, why did you say that?" Hindsight's 2020. You know, like, obviously, if you were there, you would have done this. Obviously, sure, whatever, right? But you'll never know. But yeah, shall I hide from Abraham? What am I about to do? Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty, what is that? Great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I have chosen him, that he may command his children and his household after him, to keep the way of the Lord by doing righteousness and justice, so that the Lord may bring Abraham what he has proposed to him. Then the Lord said, because the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and their sin is very grave, I will go down to see whether they have done altogether according to the outlay that has come to me, and if not, I will know. So the man turned from there and went towards Sodom, but Abraham still stood before the Lord. Then Abraham drew near and said, will you indeed sweep away the righteousness with the wicked? Suppose there are 50 righteous within the city. Will you then sweep away the place, and not spare it for the 50 righteous people who are in it? Far be it from you do such a thing to put the righteous to death with the wicked, so that the righteous fare as the wicked. Far from you. Shall not be the judge of the earth in what is just. And the Lord said, if I find at Sodom 50 righteous in the city, I will spare the whole place for their sake. Abraham, so this is talking about when this is talking about Sodom and Gomorrah. Hold on 1 second, I'm reading back real quick. Okay. Abraham answered and said, behold, I have undertaken to speak to the Lord, I who am dust and ashes. Suppose 5 of the 50 righteous are lacking. Will you destroy the whole city for a lack of 5? And he said, I will not destroy it if I find 45 there. Again he spoke to him and said, suppose 45 are found there. He answered, for the sake of 45, or for the sake of 40, I will not do it. And he said, oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak. Suppose 30 are found there. He answered, I will not do it if I find 30 there. He said, behold, I have undertaken to speak to the Lord. Suppose 20 are found there. He answered, for the sake of 20 I will not destroy it. And then he said, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak again but this once. Suppose 10 are found there. He answered, for the sake of 10 I will not destroy it. And the Lord went his way when he had finished speaking to Abraham, and Abraham returned to his place. So Sodom and Gomorrah, a little more context here because I know about this a little bit. The people of Sodom and Gomorrah were basically like just having like orgies and like just doing a bunch of like gay stuff and just a bunch of different like stuff that God just finds disgusting, you know. A bunch of self-centered stuff, a bunch of sinning, and yeah, like I said, he will not destroy the entire city, which is what he's referring to, Sodom. If he finds 10 righteous people in the whole city. Now, I don't know how many people were in Sodom. However, I know it was a very big city. I'm pretty sure it's upwards of a couple 100,000 people, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. But he said, but it's definitely a lot, and it's definitely a big city. So, yeah. And I'm pretty sure, I was reading from the start of this next chapter, yeah, I'm excited to actually get into the next one. Also, let me know, I haven't even had any comments on any of my videos besides mine, but if y'all want to see me start to do 2 of these every day instead of 1, let me know, because I can make that happen. But all I need is 1 person to tell me that I need to do that. If I just had 1 fan, or not fan, if I just had 1 follower of the channel, just comment, just I want to see 2 videos a day. Got you. I'll start uploading twice a day. If I work these videos, am I editing them? my phone is halfway broken. Like I said, it's working right now. I can see myself right now. But I mean, I don't even know how to edit, bro. I'm just making this because God told me to. I'm reading through the whole Bible. And I'm gonna figure out the editing eventually. I'm gonna figure certain stuff out eventually. I'm gonna get to it eventually. But for now, all I'm really focused on is, you know, going to work, trying to save up as much money as I can so I can buy more XRP, and just doing these daily videos every day. But if you need a little bit more readings, need a little bit more out of me. If you think I'm being lazy, just be like, yo, being lazy, bro. Go make a second video every day. Cause what are you doing? If you were that one person that believes that, please let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Excited to get into it tomorrow. Chapter 19. Things are starting to get real.